Just one glance at my sister's computer, and I uncovered her little secret. Pair that with those Brocon manga I found on her bookshelf earlier. I was almost certain she was into me. So, I just rolled with it. Not only did I make her my wife, we even had a kid together. Don't worry, she's not my biological sister. She's my stepmom's daughter. Plus, I'm not even the original owner of this body. Turns out, I just glanced at the red moon in the sky. And boom, I transmigrated into a crazy gender-flipped world. Here, every single monarch in history has been an empress. Men are the ones staying home to raise the kids. And biologically, women are the ambitious conquerors, while men are just expected to sit around and look pretty. Women are the breadwinners doing all the heavy lifting, while guys are naturally born weak with zero stamina. The whole world worships women and looks down on men, making the gender ratio absolutely wildly unbalanced. Now, every guy is basically a delicate little lamb, constantly having to dodge thirsty female creeps who just want a piece of meat. Even my buddy Tien, he turned into this blonde, pretty boy idol type. His new hobby? Shopping. He literally became my male BFF. Every day, he'd cling to my arm, whining about buying face masks one second, and getting his nails done the next. He even worried about getting harassed by pervy women because he was quote-unquote, too handsome. My worldview was shattering into a million pieces. Face masks? You might as well buy a knife and kill me right now. To remind myself that I'm a real, red-blooded man, I marched into a tattoo parlor, ripped off my shirt, and demanded a badass dragon on the left and a white tiger on the right. But when the girls in the shop saw me, they literally got nosebleeds. They practically begged to pay me to do the tattoo. But my bro, Long, dragged me away. He hauled my ass straight home. The second I pushed the door open, I saw this absolute bombshell sitting there, waving at me with the warmest smile. That face, that body. She was literally the goddess of my dreams. I couldn't freaking believe she was in my house. It wasn't until we sat down at the dinner table, and my dad explained, that I found out she was my new stepmom's daughter. My stepsister, Zhang Qian Qin. Hearing the word stepsister, something clicked in my brain. My dad in this world got remarried. We were all going to live together from now on. But, the way this sister was looking at me felt a little off. Thinking about how I was supposed to act like a sissy in this world, I got pissed and chucked a teddy bear across the room. But I accidentally hit my sister with it. I felt super awkward. Surprisingly, she just walked right up to me, and asked in this incredibly soft voice. How, did you miss your big sister? Oh, I missed her all right. I missed her a lot. But my mouth was completely smothered. I couldn't say a single word. How, what's wrong? Your face is so red. Are you coming down with something? Let me take a look. I quickly waved her off, saying I was totally fine. Come to think of it, being stuck in this world isn't so bad. After all, a real man knows how to adapt, right? I'll take as many perks like this as I can get. The next morning when I woke up, I decided to properly study how this world works. But reading the absolutely wild headlines in the newspaper, I felt my sanity taking 999 points of critical damage. And the most insane part? Guys in this world actually go through a weakness period the day they lose their virginity. Your whole body goes totally limp and weak, like you literally don't have any bones. In severe cases, you can't even move. I lay there on the floor, feeling completely helpless. Right then, my stepsister walked in wearing her pajamas, bringing me breakfast. She even gave me this super cute wink. In that split second, I realized it's damn good to be a man. Sure, the guys in this world might be a bit soft. But if all the girls here are like my sister Chin Chin, I'd gladly be a sissy any day. Just then, my bro Long called me to head to school. But walking down the street, there were those female creeps again. Hiding in the corner and secretly peeking. Long was happily pouting his lips. He was showing off this year's newest lipstick. I told him to dial it back a little. I threw my arm around Long's shoulder and told him I want to be a real man. And real men don't wear lipstick. How did you end up like this? Long wiped his tears, looking all shy and delicate. But the very next second, he spotted a female creep nearby. He immediately freaked out, the color completely draining from his face. He nervously whispered to me, "There's a pervert watching us. We're two grown men, why should we be scared of her? Don't worry, she dares to come over here, I'll totally kick her flying." But how? You can't even lift a single brick. We'd better take the long way around. After saying that, he grabbed my hand and we jogged all the way to school. The moment we got to the classroom, I saw a guy who couldn't unscrew a bottle cap. He was actually asking a girl for help. I was absolutely speechless. A grown-ass man, being this incredibly weak. So, I stepped up to help out. But after twisting it forever, the bottle cap wouldn't budge an inch. For a second, I really thought I was just holding it wrong. So I took a deep breath, and suddenly went all out. My exaggerated movements scared the crap out of both of them. Yet, the bottle cap still didn't move. My fingers were literally red from trying. Under their incredibly awkward stares, I mumbled, "Sorry to bother you," turned around, and silently walked away. I couldn't believe I had turned into a weakling who couldn't even open a bottle cap. I don't want to stay in this world for even one more second. I slumped over my desk, feeling absolutely pathetic. But suddenly, a huge crowd of girls surrounded me. Hey handsome, what's wrong? Do you need me to open that bottle for you? All those girls staring at me made me want to die of embarrassment. Thankfully, the bell rang. I needed to use the restroom. But when I got back from the bathroom, my deskmate, Huang Yuan, actually tried to feel me up. Under the disguise of just chatting with me, she suddenly grabbed my hand. Hey handsome, did you not sleep well last night? Do you want to lay on my lap? I can give you a nice, refreshing massage. With a creepy, lustful smile, she lunged right at me. Oh my god, how the hell is this woman so strong? Thank God the class bell rang right at that moment. I barely dodged a bullet there. Our homeroom teacher, Miss Ma, told everyone to take out their textbooks. At that moment, I was completely mind blown. And no, it wasn't because Miss Ma was stunningly beautiful. It was because I actually understood the textbook the second I looked at it. It turns out, after crossing over into this world, I went from a total loser to an absolute academic weapon. Thinking about how Miss Ma might give me private tutoring sessions in the future, I couldn't stop myself from grinning like an idiot. I got ready to answer a bunch of questions, hoping to score some major points with the teacher. Just as I hoped, Miss Ma called my name. Zhang Hao, are you feeling unwell? Is your face twitching? The entire class turned to stare at me. I was completely mortified. I quickly blurted out, I'm fine, really. Miss, you must have seen it wrong. But my excuse only made the rest of the class gossip even more. Why is he acting so weird today? Is our handsome prince losing his mind? I heard he took a nasty fall a few days ago. Do you think it gave him brain damage? I had to just sit there and endure it until the class finally ended. Man, I am just so mentally exhausted. Why is just going to school so damn complicated? That weekend, Long and I went shopping. He immediately started recommending a ton of women's clothes to me, but I shut that down right on the spot. Instead, I bought a whole bunch of men's clothes that I actually liked. But I never expected this shopping trip to cause such a huge scene. My naturally handsome face, paired with this outfit, instantly caught the attention of all the women around. Someone even secretly snapped pictures of me and posted them online. And what's even crazier, my photos went viral and hit the top trending lists almost instantly. The comment section was flooded with netizens totally blown away by my looks. A whole bunch of thirsty girls were leaving comments, begging for my personal info. Meanwhile, I was back home, completely clueless about the whole thing. I was just chilling on the couch, taking a break, when Brother Long called me up and shouted. How, you blew up? I was so confused and asked. What blew up? Your photos at the fast food joint got posted online. They're being shared like crazy right now. Hurry up and open Weibo, you'll see what I mean. You're already at number 5 on the trending list. Honestly, I thought it was super weird. It's just a picture. Is there really a need to be this dramatic? But the moment I opened my phone and saw the trending tags about me, my jaw just dropped. There were countless girls retweeting and commenting. Some were screaming for me to enter the entertainment industry and become an idol. Others were offering big money just to buy my pictures. Even the official account of the burger joint jumped in to ride the clout. I just felt like this world had gone completely insane. I bought a damn burger, and suddenly I'm an internet celebrity? I figured the hype would die down in a few days and people would forget about it. The next day, after Brother Long and I finished our massive shopping spree at the mall, Brother Long sighed in awe. How, you're so sweet to your sister, buying her such an expensive belt. I just shrugged it off, saying my streaming income had been pretty great lately, and besides, Sister Chin Chin had gifted me a real diamond stud earring. Hearing real diamond, Brother Long's face lit up with absolute envy. How many carats? Oh my god, let me see. I didn't wear it out today. I'll show it to you next time, alright? After that, Brother Long and I headed over to the restroom. But little did we know, we had already been targeted by that toxic, two-faced guy from our school. Seeing Brother Long and me go into the restroom, he thought it was the perfect opportunity. This fake snake led a bunch of his mindless followers to plot a nasty prank on me. Don't worry, it's foolproof. Fung, just sit back and wait for the good news. After Brother Long and I finished taking a leak, he stood in front of the mirror, touching up his face with a hydrating mist. He was looking absolutely thrilled with himself, feeling pretty. I just stared at him, totally exasperated. Stop spraying that stuff. Let's just hurry up and go grab some food. But right as we turned around, one of Lu Feng's mindless lackeys suddenly crashed right into us. Luckily, I just did a quick sidestep, and let that idiot completely faceplant onto the floor. Still, keeping up my spirit of being a helpful citizen, I reached out and grabbed him by the collar. I shot him a look like he was an absolute moron. What the hell do you think you're doing, kid? Before I could say another word, a second mindless lackey charged out of nowhere. Are you totally blind? You almost hit my friend. Seeing this guy twisting the truth so shamelessly, Brother Long got furious and angrily stomped his feet. You the blind one? It was obviously your friend who threw himself at us. Who the hell are you calling blind? The idiot violently grabbed Brother Long by the collar. It scared the crap out of him. But my reaction was lightning fast. Before that punk could make another move, I snatched his arm in a tight grip. You know damn well who bumped into who first. My face turned completely ice cold. Putting your filthy hands on my friend, do you have a death wish? My piercing glare terrified the lackey. He thought to himself in panic, man, this guy looks vicious. I shoved the idiot away, breaking his grip on Brother Long. Get the hell away, don't block our path. But that two-faced snake pushed his luck even further. He hawked up a massive loogie and spat it right at me. You hit someone and now you're trying to run? You two are absolutely disgusting. In my past life, I was a 24-carat, 100% real man. Hearing that, I totally snapped. Are you out of your damn mind? Don't think just because you're a guy, you think I wouldn't dare hit you? Without another word, I swung my fist. I landed a massive slap right across his face, knocking that two-faced jerk completely dizzy. You bastard, you actually hit him. Seeing this, his accomplice panicked and started screaming. Long couldn't take it anymore either. He rolled up his sleeves, ready to throw hands. You guys started this. And just like that, Long and the two-faced jerk went at it. Neither willing to back down. They were evenly matched, tearing into each other in a messy brawl. I watched them, completely speechless. What the hell was I even looking at? I clenched my fists. Today, on behalf of 3.5 billion men, I'm going to teach you two scamming scumbags a lesson. As soon as the words left my mouth, the restroom echoed with the heavy thuds of my fists and their pathetic, agonizing screams. If you ever try to pull this scam again, I will break your damn legs. I flipped them off, leaving the two of them cowering in the corner. But the two-faced jerk was still holding a grudge. I'm calling my girlfriend. I'll have her bring some people to teach you a lesson. Is that the bastard who bullied you? The guy in yellow asked furiously, glaring at Zhang Hao in the distance. Yeah, he's the one who hit Chi-Chi. Lu Feng knew things were about to blow up. He quickly made an excuse to slip away, but the guy in yellow yelled at him to get back here. Just wait and see how Zhang Hao embarrasses himself, Lu Feng sneered with disdain. But in his mind, he was already planning to secretly snap humiliating photos of Zhang Hao and post them online, using Shu Qi and the guy in yellow as his meat shields. Meanwhile, Shu Qi was sobbing uncontrollably, whining and begging his wife to beat me up. You losers actually came back for more? I stood there, completely calm and unfazed. But Long couldn't help trembling a little when he saw the massive muscle girl standing behind Shu Qi. If you guys are gonna make a move, then bring it on. I'm in a hurry. As soon as I said that, the muscle girl's eyes actually lit up with admiration. Just one look at my handsome face and she was completely smitten. It was like a cheesy romantic movie montage playing in her head. Seeing his wife staring at me in a complete daze, Shu Qi yelled out impatiently. Eat him up already. But a second later, the muscle girl turned to me, her face completely flushed. She told me that if I just apologized to Shu Qi, she would let me off the hook. Shu Qi was absolutely shocked. Babe, what are you doing? He beat the crap out of me, and an apology is all it takes? But the muscle girl completely ignored him, declaring that she didn't want to hit a man. Shu Qi started sobbing again, demanding to know if she had a crush on me. Seeing them start a lover's quarrel before the fight even began, I rolled my eyes in pure annoyance. Go sort out your relationship drama somewhere else. Get out of my way. Hearing this, Shu Qi refused to let it go and screamed at me not to leave. Now I was truly pissed off. I'm warning you, if you mess with me again, I will beat you so hard your own mother won't recognize you. Seeing me act so dominant, the muscle girl wasn't even mad. Instead, she just glared at Shu Qi. Shut up, or you can kiss that limited edition designer bag you wanted goodbye. Then, she strutted up to me, blushing like a schoolgirl. Hey handsome, that was all just a big misunderstanding. How about we exchange numbers? Let me send you some money to make it up to you. Hiding nearby and soaking up all the drama, Lu Feng had secretly recorded the entire thing. He wanted to post the video online, twisting the story to make me look like a homewrecker and completely ruin my reputation. Suddenly, a cold chill ran down his spine, followed by a heavy hand clamping down on his shoulder. What exactly are you filming there? Lu Feng whipped his head around, practically jumping out of his skin. It turned out to be the notorious mob boss, Sister Lin. He quickly covered his phone, stammering out a pathetic excuse. It's nothing, but Boss Lu wasn't born yesterday. She snatched the phone right out of that sneaky little punk's hand, and saw the photos he secretly snapped of Zhang Hao. You got a death wish? Boss Lu's eyes turned ice cold. She lifted the punk up with one hand. How dare you take pictures of my man with another woman? Choked by Boss Lu's grip, the guy squawked and begged for mercy like a helpless little chicken. A wicked smirk crept across Lu Xing's face. Come with me, let's go see your new brother-in-law. With that, she marched straight toward me. Zhang Hao, we meet again. Hearing that voice from behind, both the muscle woman and I broke into a cold sweat. Damn it, I thought. What the hell is Lu Xing doing here? She looked at me with a playful, teasing smirk. It's only been 2 days, but do you have any idea how much I've missed you, Zhang Hao? Seeing how fierce this woman was, Brother Long trembled in fear and hid behind my back. But I had zero interest in dealing with her. I just turned around to leave. Zhang Hao, not so fast. I caught someone taking secret photos of you, Boss Lu said, planting a hard kick right into the sneaky punk's ass. Lu Feng tumbled to the ground, shivering. I brought him to you. Do whatever you want with him. I spun around and demanded to know what the hell she wanted. But Boss Lu just chuckled, saying I sure had a lot of admirers. So the famous internet pretty boy really is hanging around my turf. She cooed, hey, handsome. How about I become your sugar mama? Not interested. Seeing my defiant attitude, one of her thugs completely lost it. You little punk. You got a death wish? How dare you talk to Boss Lu like? But before she could finish her sentence, Boss Lu punched her own thug right in the face. Don't be so rude to such a pretty face. Boss Lu stepped closer, waving it off as a misunderstanding. What I meant was, I want you to be my boyfriend. I'll even give you 10,000 bucks a month for pocket money. Hearing that, I was just speechless. Isn't that just being a sugar baby? She just dressed it up in prettier words. Though, if the losers from my past life met a beautiful, rich woman offering to keep them, they'd probably be grinning from ear to ear. But I swore to be an absolute macho man in this world. There's no way I'm letting myself be someone's toy. If anything, I should be the one keeping her. Looks like we have nothing left to talk about. I turned to walk away, but Boss Lu suddenly pulled out a dagger, pointing it right at me. Such a pretty face, handsome. I'd be absolutely heartbroken if it accidentally got sliced open. But I didn't flinch. You got the guts? Try it. That threw Boss Lu completely off guard. Her classic carrot and stick routine had never failed her before. In all her years on the streets, she'd never seen a guy this tough. While she was caught off guard, I seized the moment and punched the dagger right out of her hand. Then, with a swift strike to the chest, I shoved her back. Realizing force wasn't working, Boss Lu instantly switched tactics. She snatched a bouquet of roses from her thug, her face blushing red. Please, go out with me. Her sudden, totally unhinged mood swing left me completely stunned for a second. I rejected her again, and that made Boss Lu furious. So, she looked me dead in the eye and dropped a threat. This is your little friend, Lin Yilong, isn't it? You dug into my friends? I glared at her, absolute fury in my eyes. But Boss Lu didn't care in the slightest. She just leaned in close and whispered, isn't it normal to care about my crush's besties? Besides, a lot of my girls actually love his type. If they get a little crazy and decide to have some fun with your friend, well, even I wouldn't be able to stop them. My face darkened completely. This bitch actually dared to use Brother Long against me. How about we both take a step back? I said, tell me, what else do you want? Seeing that my tone had softened, Sister Lu grabbed my face with both hands. Since my handsome man says so, of course I can take a step back. Just join me for a drink at the club tonight. After she finally left, Brother Long looked at me, full of worry, and asked, how? That woman just now looked like she's in the mafia. They all had tattoos, too. Are you really going to that stupid club? Why don't we just call the cops? I shook my head and turned down the idea. They haven't actually committed a crime yet. If she gets away, it's just going to piss her off. She has plenty of ways to corner us. Let me go tonight and see what her deal is. If I don't call you by 8:30 tonight, you call the cops. Night fell quickly, and I arrived at the club all by myself. The moment I walked in, Sister Lu handed me a glass of red wine, saying that as long as I acted as her husband for just one day, she would stop bothering me from now on. I rejected her flat out. As soon as the words left my mouth, her goons immediately threatened me. Seeing them pull out knives to take me down by force, I reached right into my pocket, pulled out my pepper spray, and blasted it straight into that delinquent girl's eyes. While she was blinded and couldn't open her eyes, I whipped out my own pocket knife and pressed it against her throat. Using her as a hostage, I managed to escape the club. But surprisingly, Sister Lu wasn't even mad. Instead, she was thrilled. She absolutely loved my wild personality. So what if you ran away this time? I've got all the time in the world to play with you. I used the delinquent girl's phone to send a message, attaching a picture of a voice recorder. Realizing she had been played, Sister Lu was furious. That little bastard, no wonder he dared to be so ruthless just now. Having successfully escaped, I started running wildly through the rainy night, completely unaware that the domineering CEO had already arranged for someone to tail me. After a few peaceful days went by, I heard from a classmate that Sister Lu had been taken care of. Feng Hong Group had stepped in and dropped a new shot caller into the neighborhood. The name sounded a little familiar to me, like I had seen it somewhere before. Suddenly, it hit me. Isn't Feng Hong Group that President Wei's company? But what kind of connection would President Wei have with Lu Xin? After getting home, I wanted to look up the connection between those two, but my sister warmly walked over to me. Hurry up and eat. I cooked for you today. My sister's sweet and playful look made me blush a little. I later found out that our parents were working overtime tonight, and wouldn't be back until tomorrow. Looking at my sister sitting across from me, my heart suddenly skipped a beat. It was just me and Sister Chinchin at home tonight. A man and a woman all alone in the house. This might not be good. Seeing me zone out, she playfully poked my forehead. What are you spacing out for, how? I really couldn't handle this kind of flirting. I quickly told myself to calm down. She was my sister in name, after all. Even though we weren't related by blood, she simply spoiled me way too much. Not only did she insist on doing the dishes herself, but she also held my hands and said, I can't bear to let Hao's beautiful hands get dirty with grease. I absolutely couldn't refuse this kind of pampering. To me, Sister Chinchin was gorgeous and sweet. She was practically the perfect woman. If I were back in my original world, I would have dreamed of having a wife just like her. But right at that moment, a sharp pain pierced through my head, followed by a sudden flood of memories. When I was little and getting bullied, a little girl had stepped in to help me. And that little girl was actually a younger sister Chinchin. It turns out she and I had known each other since we were kids. This completely turned my brain to mush, messing up my focus for the rest of the day. I ended my stream early today because my mind was just an absolute mess. Does he actually have that kind of idea? I mean, if he seriously wants to marry me, should I say yes? Plus, I feel like my streaming career has hit a wall lately. My follower count and hype are just stuck in a rut. What a miserable day. Making money off streaming isn't as easy as it looks. Just then, a system notification popped up from the platform. I opened it up and saw the platform had cooked up a few custom plans to boost my popularity. They told me to contact head mod number 1 for the details. Wait, is this some kind of trap to squeeze me dry? I had a feeling these plans were garbage, so I just ignored it. But the next day during my stream, the platform sent the exact same DM. I ignored it again, but man, they just wouldn't give up. By day 3, they were still spamming my inbox. And right at that moment, I was on the toilet doing my business. And that wasn't even the worst part. These guys were actually blowing up my phone at 2 a.m. By this point, I was getting pissed. I thought, let's see how long you can keep this up. Finally, head mod number 1 lost their patience and messaged me, asking why I hadn't reached out. I glared at the screen, annoyed, and told them I didn't need any so-called popularity boosters. I also reminded them that my contract clearly states I don't have to stream any other type of content. But head mod number 1 just forwarded the 3 plans anyway and told me to at least take a look. They said they'd be in my area for a business trip the day after tomorrow, and we could talk in person. I rubbed my temples, completely exhausted. They don't actually expect me to do that kind of stream, do they? Just picturing it gives me full body goosebumps. I'm a macho guy. Making me stream like that? You might as well just kill me. Fine, let's see what kind of garbage plans you've come up with. I clicked them open. Plan 1. Wear bunny ears and tiny shorts while doing a spicy, seductive dance. And Plan 2. Anime cosplay to become the ultimate heartthrob for otaku girls online. And the last one was just streaming fitness workouts to show off my abs. After reading them, I realized I never should have expected anything decent from these guys. What is all this nonsense? Anyway, fast forward to 3 days later. Head mod number 1 asked me to meet at this cafe, so I dragged Brother Long along with me. I wanted to see what kind of tricks they were trying to pull. We sat down, and the mod introduced herself. That's when I found out my personal mod was actually a woman named Song Ching. I introduced Brother Long to Sister Song. Then I cut straight to the chase. I told her I'd looked over the 3 plans, and honestly, I wasn't interested in any of them. Hearing that, Sister Song just took a sip of her coffee. Judging by her tone, she totally saw that coming. She suggested I go with the fitness route. You know, positive, healthy, good vibes. I was super confused. I just felt like the way she was staring at me was a little bit off. And sure enough, Sister Song suddenly stood up from her seat and reached out to press her hand flat against my chest. Sister Song, what are you doing? She pointed out that I actually had a pretty great physique. She said I was pretty solid and could tell I'd been working out. If you make this your stream content, I'm sure both of us would be very happy with the results, she said. Even Brother Long agreed that it was a fantastic idea. I thought about it for a second. Streaming my workouts wouldn't be too over the top. Showing off a little muscle is acceptable. Plus, I could be a role model for the guys watching and inspire them to get their confidence back. After weighing my options, I finally agreed to stream a short fitness segment every week. But when my dad found out, he completely blew his top. You're making a spectacle of yourself. It's completely indecent. Absolutely not. You think you're a grown man now and can just do whatever you want? I already compromised by letting you stream those video games. And now you want to stream yourself working out? Have you seen how scandalous those gym clothes are? No way, Dad. I absolutely disagree. My workout clothes are totally normal. Besides, aren't you always worried about me being too good looking and getting taken advantage of? If I get totally shredded, wouldn't that solve the problem? Just then, Shinchin chimed in to back me up. Uncle, please calm down. I think Hao actually has a point. Why don't we let him give it a try first? I'll be right there keeping an eye on things. If anything gets out of hand or inappropriate, I'll make him shut the stream down immediately. Hearing this, My dad let out a helpless sigh and finally gave in. Once Dad left the room, I looked at Chinchin with pure gratitude. Thanks for bailing me out. Otherwise, I would have been arguing with him for hours. She winked at me playfully. Since when do you need to thank your big sis? But I wasn't joking about keeping an eye on you. Some people in those live chats have absolutely no filter. I'd be too worried otherwise. Once my live stream officially started, my viewer count immediately skyrocketed. Donations and gifts were just flooding the screen. However, as Chinchin watched the live chat, her eyes darkened with intense jealousy. There are so many people watching How work out now. I'm so jealous. What should I do? How is mine. I won't let anyone take him away from me. She had to keep mentally reminding herself to hold back. If she didn't, she'd end up pushing him away again, just like when they were kids. But despite her thoughts, her hand reached out and stopped my treadmill. How, take a break, you must be exhausted. She gently wiped the sweat from my face, her eyes full of concern. She couldn't bear seeing me push myself so hard, but I just laughed and said, I'm in great shape, don't worry. Seeing me act so tough left Chinchin feeling a bit helpless. She gave my arm a light smack as a playful punishment. I instantly froze like a statue. Wait, Chinchin, did she just cop a feel? Later that night, right around midnight, Chinchin quietly snuck into my bedroom. How, she whispered. If only we hadn't been separated back then. Things would be so perfect. Over the next few days, Chinchin insisted on driving me to and from school in her flashy sports car. It was giving me a massive headache. She was getting way too touchy-feely lately. She was constantly finding excuses to touch me. If this kept up, I wasn't going to be able to hold myself back much longer. I was seriously scared I might just give in and cross the line with her. Meanwhile, my flashy new commute sparked massive jealousy among all the bitter guys at school. They started mocking me, calling me a sugar baby who was being kept by a rich woman. Someone even posted online claiming that I was being completely funded by multiple sugar mamas at the same time. Because of that, all the girls on campus started avoiding me like the plague. Totally clueless about the rumors, I just hung out in the classroom with my buddy, Long. That's when some green-haired punk walked over with a stack of assignments, loudly asking who hadn't turned in their homework yet. Oh my, has our precious school idol forgotten to turn his in? Or maybe he's just way too busy at night to do schoolwork? I mean, with a pretty face like that, it's not like he needs to worry about his grades anyway. Plenty of rich older women are more than willing to take care of him. Without missing a beat, I slammed my homework right into his chest. If you're jealous of my good looks, then just say it to my face. What the hell are you barking about with that sarcastic attitude? The green-haired guy sneered. Me, sarcastic? Are you seriously pretending you don't know what you've been doing? You're acting like nothing is wrong while being passed around by a bunch of rich sugar mamas. I've gotta admit, your shamelessness is truly impressive. Hearing his garbage, it suddenly clicked. Wait, is this why everyone's been whispering about me for the past couple of days? Before I could even open my mouth, Long snapped. He pointed straight at the guy and roared. What the hell kind of garbage are you spouting? That's pure slander, you piece of trash. The green-haired guy turned to look at Long. Didn't you check the school forum? Zhanghao's reputation is completely trashed. Hanging around the school gates with all those different women, getting all tangled up with them, and someone got it all on camera. Hearing this, Long yanked out his phone. I'm checking it right damn now. It didn't take him long to find the post. The photo was actually snuck when Sister Chinchin dropped me off at school. Looking through the comments on the thread, Long was so furious his blood was boiling. How? I can't believe they're calling you a total slut. Hearing that, I was absolutely speechless. What the hell? Is that even how you use that word? Just then, the teacher knocked on the door and walked in, telling me to follow him to his office. I had no idea this whole thing had blown up so much. Even the teacher was getting involved. The second I stepped into the office, the teacher asked if I knew about the recent drama on the school forum. I told him I had literally just found out. He sighed, saying the whole situation was leaving a terrible impression. I really hope you don't drag yourself down any further, or your future will be completely ruined. I frantically waved my hands, stopping him right there. It seemed like even the teacher actually believed the rumors were true. He swore up and down that I wasn't anyone's sugar baby. The woman who dropped me off was literally just my older sister, that's all. And that other older woman, I only met her once to sort something out. I told him, if he didn't believe me, I could just call my sister over and he'd see for himself. Sure enough, it wasn't long before Sister Chinchin arrived at the school. She sat down and started talking with the teacher. Meanwhile, right outside the door, a bunch of students were eavesdropping and whispering. Whispering things like, damn, how is that girl who just went in so gorgeous? And wait, she looks exactly like the woman who dropped Zhang Hao off. Suddenly, one of the guys pressing his ear against the door caught what they were saying. Yo, that hot girl just said she's Zhang Hao's older sister. Hearing that, the whole group looked totally bummed out. Man, that's boring. Guess the gossip train stops here. After clearing everything up with the teacher, Sister Chinchin asked if I needed her to go explain things to my classmates too. Just so they don't keep getting the wrong idea. I smiled and replied, It's all good. You can leave the rest to me. Sister Chinchin, you should hurry on back to work. Don't let me hold you up. Once I got back to the classroom, Huang Yuan practically screamed in excitement. How? My absolute idol. I just knew you were a decent guy. Saying that, she whipped out her phone, explaining that Long had already dug around and found out where the post came from. It was all a dirty trick by Lu Feng and his crew. I asked, wait, where's Long anyway? Staring at Long's totally empty desk, I suddenly got a terrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. At that exact moment, Long was actually locked up inside the school's abandoned boys' bathroom by that two-faced punk. The jerk even had the absolute nerve to dump milk all over him. Just wait till I get out of here. Lu Feng and his crew are such massive bastards. Just wait. Once I'm out, I'm definitely telling the teacher. Shivering from the cold, Long prayed desperately for his phone call to go through. But the signal in that place was absolute garbage. The call just wouldn't go through at all. Meanwhile, the two girls and I split up, branching out. Every single one of us was frantically searching for Long. When we finally regrouped, Yuehua dropped a massive clue. She said a guy from class 3 spotted him by the sports field, right near the bathrooms out back. And get this, Lu Feng and a few other guys were hanging around there too. Hearing that, I instantly saw red. The second we reached the bathroom, sure enough, we heard Long's voice inside. The poor guy was in there bawling his eyes out. Jingjiao anime. Long, step back. I'm getting Yuehua to kick the door down. The very next second, our little cutie Yuehua delivered a massive kick, completely shattering the bathroom door to pieces. Staring at the splinters all over the floor, I silently thought to myself, absolute badass. After that, Long sobbed out everything he'd been through. Hearing what they did to him after school, a fierce, ruthless glare flashed in my eyes. Don't tell the teacher about this after school. Let's not go to them just yet. 2.5 hours later, Yuehua and I dragged Lu Feng into a dark alley. What do you think you're doing? I'll tell the teacher, I swear. You better worry about yourself. Everything you just did was caught on camera, you idiot. You've got 2 scores to settle. Spreading those rumors, and beating up Long. I'm giving you 2 choices right now. Option 1. Get on your knees and apologize, then go online and post a public confession, admitting you're the trash who spread the rumors and attacked Long. Option 2. We hand over all the evidence to the school and the cops. Take the first option, and your reputation is ruined. Take the second, and you get a criminal record. Make your choice. Lu Feng gritted his teeth. He had no choice but to apologize. If this blew up, Jingjiao anime, his entire future would be totally ruined. I thought that was the end of it. But then I suddenly got up in his face, glaring fiercely. If you ever mess with me again, I will end you. After we filmed the video of him on his knees begging for mercy, Lu Feng ran off like a beaten dog. Long was worried the guy would try something again later. A leopard never changes its spots, after all. But I told him not to worry. He wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare. He wouldn't dare. He knows exactly what's at stake. Suddenly, the scene shifted. Yuehua and I were walking home when I suddenly remembered Wei Nan. I asked Yuehua if she knew anything about him. Yeah, I know him. He's the head of the Wei family. The guy is seriously powerful. How does he compare to your family? Yuehua shook her head. I don't really get all that business stuff. But I'd guess they're about on the same level. Thinking back to Wei Nan's icy stare and his commanding vibe, I knew our next meeting was gonna be a total headache. But since I had to face the music eventually, there was no time like the present. Tomorrow, we'd settle this once and for all. Meanwhile, my older sister tried to sneak a kiss while I was asleep. She just wanted a quick peck to cop a feel, but to her surprise, I suddenly woke up. Thinking I was dreaming, my inner alpha male completely took over. I flipped the script, pinned her down, and decided right then and there to make her my wife. And it was totally fine, because she wasn't my biological sister anyway. She was my stepmom's daughter. Turned out that earlier, to get me into bed, Shinshin actually took me out drinking. But she didn't expect that after having one too many, I would be stumbling all over the place. I accidentally stumbled into the ladies' room. I had just splashed some water on my face, when I realized the woman standing next to me was actually a total boss lady CEO. And right at that moment, a group of women started walking in. Seeing this, I broke out in a cold sweat. Totally panicking, I grabbed the CEO, yanked open a stall door, and dragged her inside with me. The CEO was completely stunned. I get why you're hiding, but why the hell did you drag me in here with you? I drank too much. My brain just short-circuited. Looking at my pathetic state, the CEO let out a wicked little laugh. It scared the crap out of me, and I yelled, "Are you psycho?" She smirked. "Little boy, you're the one who dragged me in here. Aren't you afraid I might just eat you alive? Besides, it's been 3 whole days. So why haven't you called me?" I averted my gaze, getting nervous. I didn't dare look into her fierce, intimidating eyes. I was actually planning to contact you guys tomorrow. I just didn't expect to bump into you here. Hearing that, the CEO lifted my chin. "Oh, really? Well, I've changed my mind. You don't have to sign a contract with the Finghong Group anymore." Instead, I want you to be my man. I quickly grabbed the hand she was using to hold my chin. Do you have some kind of weird CEO complex or something? This is only the second time we've even met. Let me tell you a little secret, she purred. The last guy who dared to talk to me like that. She's already gone. Are you talking about Lu Xing? Sister Lu? She was sloppy, so my people already took care of her. So, you really ought to thank me for getting rid of that stalker for you. You're such a sneaky little guy. I want an answer today. Are you going to be my man or not? I pretended to think about it, then suddenly reached out and tickled the female CEO. While she was distracted, I yanked the bathroom door open and bolted. But the moment I got out, the alcohol hit me again, and I started stumbling around. Thank God I bumped into Sister Chin Chin. How, you were gone for so long. Are you feeling sick? I told her not to worry. I'm just a little drunk. Then, Sister Chin Chin pulled me into her arms. In that case, let's go home and get some rest. And with that, I completely blacked out. Sister Chin Chin quickly got me back home. She brought me something to help me sober up. No, I can still drink. I don't want it. But honestly, I was completely wasted. Sister Chin Chin leaned in and just quietly looked at me. I didn't know you were this cute when you're drunk. How, she whispered. Just one little kiss. We're going to be together eventually anyway. Right at that moment, my phone started ringing. Sister Chin Chin picked it up. It was the basketball team captain, Zhao Ying. She just kept confessing her love to me over and over. Hearing this, Sister Chin Chin spoke up. I'm Hao's older sister. Zhao Ying, was it? I absolutely do not approve of this. Hao is not going to date anyone in high school. I suggest you give up right now. Stop bothering him. After hanging up the phone, she looked down at me, clearly a bit upset. How, when are you finally going to belong only to me? But she wasn't the impulsive girl she was when they were kids. This time, she decided to restrain herself. The next morning, when I woke up, my body felt awful. Getting blackout drunk after just one glass? What a brutal hangover. Man, I am so pathetic. And that weird dream I had last night. What the hell was that about? Still half asleep, I stumbled over to the mirror and saw a huge hickey on my neck. I was wide awake in an instant. Right then, the door opened. I couldn't believe it. Everything that happened last night was actually real. Sister Chin Chin walked into the room. I could feel her standing right behind me. How? Oh my, you actually had an allergic reaction to the alcohol. I just stood there, completely dumbfounded. Wait, isn't this thing on my neck a hickey? Sister Chin Chin smoothly stepped right in front of me. She looked so worried. Let me see. Is it serious? I'm a doctor, remember? Let me examine it for you. How? I just scratched my head, feeling incredibly awkward as I let her rub my neck and examine it for way too long. Yup, it's definitely an alcohol allergy. How? Make sure you cover it up when you go to school, okay? Being completely clueless about romance. I actually believed her. But secretly, I was still absolutely thrilled. A little while later, I got to school. Brother Long looked at me like I was crazy. Dude, it's the middle of summer. Why the hell are you wearing so many layers? Aren't you gonna get a heat stroke? I kept a totally straight face and told him that real men aren't afraid of a little heat. Even though I was practically boiling alive inside. But right at that moment, someone violently grabbed me by the collar. So, you're the punk named Zhang Hao, huh? Listen to me. I'm warning you. Zhao Ying is young Master Lin's girl. You better stay the hell away from her. Stay the hell away from her. I was already burning up with frustration and had nowhere to take it out. When I didn't say a word, my eyes went totally cold, and I instantly clamped my hand around the guy's wrist. With a sharp twist and a loud snap, he slammed the guy to the ground. Boss Lin, save me. His strength is even greater than a woman's. Looking down at his groaning subordinate, young Master Lin, who sported a streak of purple hair, didn't rush to make a move. As expected of the man Zhao Ying is so obsessed with, Long explained from the sidelines that this Lin guy was Zhao Ying's classmate. And that his family had a bit of money. I can't be bothered with him. I'm not in the mood to mess around with you. Keep your guys in line. If you care about Zhao Ying, go find her yourself. If you can't win her over, blame your own lack of skill. Lin's eyes turned a shade colder when he heard that. Is that so? Well then, Zhang, our handsome school idol, we've got plenty of time to play. After that, we kept walking. Soon, I spotted a familiar pair of white stockings. It turned out to be Yue Hua leaning against a vending machine, who had watched the whole thing unfold just now. How? That guy was so mean just now. Do you want me to go beat him up for you? One kick from you would shatter an iron gate. I wouldn't dare let you at him. I patted Yue Hua on the shoulder. It's fine. Yeah, just keep teaching me combat, and I'll handle this matter on my own. Hearing us mention fighting, Long got really curious about what we were doing after school every day. I rubbed Long's head and invited him to join us. Why don't you come along too? How can a real man be so weak and helpless? But I'm a gentle and proper boy. Fighting is way too rough for me. Stuff like swimming suits me way better. Besides, girls are the ones who look good when they swim. Martial arts are much more fitting for boys. Meanwhile, Wei Nan was currently in his private swimming pool, enjoying life. He walked up the steps, his long wet hair draped over his shoulders. Subordinate nearby immediately handed him a bath towel, even though he had just come out of the cold water. Wei Nan felt a surge of irritation, thinking back to last night when I sneak attacked his ticklish spots. He felt both embarrassed and furious, and his mind was completely filled with thoughts of me. Wei Nan's sharp eyes narrowed coldly. I can't just let this slide. So, he gave his subordinates an order. Wait for that Zhang Hao to get out of school, and bring him straight to the villa. After school, we all gathered at the school warehouse. I told my friends that my absolute dream was to become a man with a six-pack. Hearing this, Yuehua innocently lifted her shirt. I have them. My face instantly fell, and I said, Yuehua, this is super inappropriate. I didn't see anything at all. But you actually really have abs. He leaned in close to get a good look, feeling both flustered and super jealous. Being stared at by me like this. Yuehua was so shy she didn't dare make a peep. Meanwhile, the detail-oriented Long actually pulled out a magnifying glass. Something suspicious with you two. I also felt really weird about it. Why didn't you push me away? Yuehua tilted her head, and replied as if it were the most natural thing in the world. You wanted to see it, so I showed you. Why would I say no? That completely left Long speechless. How? She seems so incredibly obedient. She listens to everything you say. Why don't you try asking her to do something else? Hearing that, I completely agreed. I stood up, deciding to test just how obedient Yuehua really was. Hand over all the cash you have on you right now. Wait, isn't that a bit too aggressive? Straight up asking for money, really? Well, Yuehua simply rummaged through her pockets for a moment, and emptied out every single thing she had. She was even about to give me her payment passwords. Thank goodness Brother Long quickly covered her mouth. That's enough, Yuehua. How was just messing with you. I was totally speechless, too. Little Yuehua, why do you just do everything I tell you to? Because we're friends, and friends don't say no to each other. Her twisted logic honestly broke my heart a little. Plus, thinking about how she personally gave him that model last time, and then gave him that massive hug, I gave it some thought. I finally decided it was time to teach her what a real friend actually is. Yuehua, friends are supposed to be equal. From now on, you need to think for yourself. If you don't want to do something, just say no. Yuehua gave a tiny pout. I had no idea if anything I said actually got through to her. Anyway, it was getting late. Everyone said their goodbyes and headed home. As I was walking down the street, I had absolutely no clue that Wei Nan's men were already watching my every single move. Still, the dead, empty streets made me feel a little bit on edge. Why did I suddenly have such a bad feeling about this? Just then, a little girl in a floral dress came running out. Mister, do you want a piece of candy? I was pretty curious. Hey kiddo, isn't it a bit late for you to be out? Aren't you scared of running into bad guys? Nope. We're doing a spread warmth to strangers project. My teacher said I have to give away all my candy, or else I won't get a gold star. I was completely dumbfounded. Elementary school kids these days are way too competitive. Doing school projects this late at night? So, I took the piece of candy from the little girl, popped it in my mouth, and chewed it a few times. Suddenly, the whole world started spinning. By the time I opened my eyes, I realized there was a guy with an afro standing right in front of me. And that little girl from earlier? She was now wearing a sharp black suit. I took a closer look, and saw that I was tied to a massive bed. I couldn't believe it. Wei Nan had actually dragged me back to her place. What the hell was going on? Just then, the female CEO spoke up. Alright, all of you, get out. After everyone left, she walked right up to me and stared me down. How dare you do that to me last time, and then just run away? And now you. Do you honestly think I wouldn't dare do anything to you? Truth is, you're not even interested in me like that anyway. I've done my fair share of digging on you too, Wei Nan. You're the current head of the Wei family. Your family used to be knee-deep in the underworld. Under your leadership, it all went legit, and you even founded the Hongfeng Group. Now it's one of the top corporations in the entire country. And let's not even talk about the sheer amount of bloodshed it took to get there. People out there actually worship you as some sort of national goddess. Someone as powerful as you, just randomly falling for a guy like me? Do you seriously expect me to believe that? And you absolutely insist on dragging me in to be your star. What, is your agency running out of celebrities or something? To be completely honest, I have no idea what kind of game you're playing, and I don't want to know. I just want a quiet, normal life. So please, let me go. Wei Nan's eyes narrowed slightly as she listened. After hearing you say all that, I'm finally certain of one thing. You are not Zhang Hao. The moment she said that, I completely froze, but her next words sent an absolute shiver down my spine. No, wait, it would be more accurate to say, ever since that day. You haven't been Zhang Hao, have you? My secret, the fact that I had crossed over into this body was actually discovered by someone else. In an instant, a terrifying sense of danger washed over me. What the hell are you talking about? If I'm not Zhang Hao, who else could I be? I retorted. Wei Nan said coldly. The reason I say you're not Zhang Hao is because you've changed way too much. You did a lot of digging on me, but honestly, I've been doing my homework on you, too. Wanna know what you used to be like? Zhang Hao, 17 years old, from a single-parent home. Raised by your father since you were little. You received the most traditional, strict, proper boy, upbringing. You were always your dad's perfect little angel, his pride and joy. Thanks to your gorgeous looks and top grades, you were crowned the undisputed king of the school. That made you the ultimate dream guy for tons of girls. Everyone described you as gentle, adorable, and a sweet, empathetic softie. Hearing those words used to describe me, I almost choked on my own spit. A softie? What the hell was that about? Wei Nan continued. As for the current you, I think calling you a total badass would be far more accurate. Compared to the past, you're like a completely different person. You have Zhang Hao's face, but deep down, you're someone else entirely. Hearing this, I mentally kicked myself. I'd been way too sloppy. I never expected someone to dig up my past like this. When I first transmigrated here, I was panicking so much. And I spent all my energy just trying to adapt to this crazy world. Who had the time to research this body's backstory? But still, just based on that, how did she jump to the conclusion that I wasn't the real Zhang Hao? That felt like a massive stretch. As if she could read my mind. Wei Nan dropped the smoking gun. The ultimate proof is that when I showed up in front of you, you weren't nearly excited enough. Hearing that, my brain short-circuited. Why the hell would I be excited? Just because you're famous? Wei Nan exhaled a puff of smoke and explained, because you used to be my biggest, most obsessive fanboy. You used to publicly declare your love for me on social media all the time. If you don't believe me, you can check for yourself. With a dark, sinking feeling, I pulled out my phone. 01? I kept scrolling down my history. Damn it. 01. I had to scroll all the way back to a year ago before I finally found that post. How can a woman as perfect as Wei Nan even exist in this world? Just reading that tone, you could tell he was a massive simp. Seeing that made me want to die on the spot. I mean, I had checked my timeline before. But the old Zhang Hao posted like a spammer. He basically updated it every single day. There was just too much to read. Wei Nan stared at my dumbfounded expression. You really have zero memory of that, do you? And don't even try to feed me that split personality, or amnesia, crap. Sure, it might technically make sense on paper. But don't forget, humans are creatures that need to learn. You don't just magically wake up with skills you never had. Like how, as a gaming streamer, you hit the national top 100 in just a month. Or how someone who had never been in a fight suddenly took on a gang leader, and walked away without a scratch. Even most girls couldn't pull that off. So, I can say with absolute certainty, you don't have a split personality. Your body literally has a completely different soul inside it. Hearing that, I let out a laugh. What an absolutely insane theory. Something that absurd. No normal person would actually think like that, right? Unless, this woman was a transmigrator, just like me. Alright, so let's say I am a different soul, I said. What are you going to do about it? My team has been researching a once-in-a-century blood moon phenomenon, she replied. Based on my background check on you. This sudden, drastic change in your personality happened just a few days after the blood moon appeared. I believe you're directly connected to this lunar anomaly. Why are you so sure about that? I asked. If you agree to cooperate with our research, I'll tell you exactly why. Seeing the cold sweat dripping down my face, Wei Nan told me I didn't need to be so nervous. I guarantee your personal safety. We aren't going to strap you to a table and dissect you or anything. There's a revised contract on the nightstand. All the details of our partnership and your compensation are in there. Take this back and read it over carefully. I promise you'll be happy with the terms. So, is anyone else researching this blood moon besides you? When I asked her that, Wei Nan told me she was the only one who knew about it. Hearing that, I grabbed the contract, planning to head back and read it thoroughly. I asked her for a few days to think it over. Once I got back home, my sister practically threw herself at me. How, you're finally back. I was so worried about you. Sorry about that, Chin. I didn't mean to make you worry. Where are Dad and Auntie? Mom and Dad already went to their room. Where did you go, How? Why are you back so late? Oh, I was just wandering around town for a bit and lost track of time. I'm gonna go take a shower first, Chin. I'm all sweaty from walking. But just as I was about to head to my room, Chin suddenly grabbed my hand. How, were you out walking with a girl just now? You smell a little bit like perfume. Hearing that, I quickly scrambled to make up an excuse. I told her someone bumped into me while I was buying ice cream. Oh, is that so? You need to be more careful from now on. Don't let anyone take advantage of you. Hurry up and go shower, then. Take off your clothes and I'll wash them for you. Thanks, Chin, I appreciate it. But the moment she got her hands on my clothes, her face twisted with pure rage. She literally tossed them right into the fire to burn. My How doesn't need anything tainted with the stench of another woman. Meanwhile, I had just finished my shower, completely clueless about what was happening. As soon as I walked into the living room, I saw Chinchin's stunning figure from behind. She asked me what I wanted to drink. I blushed and muttered, "Just some milk, please. Come into my room, I'll dry your hair for you." I nodded and followed her in, but honestly, I was feeling a bit confused. Like, I get it, but why did we have to do this in her bedroom? Right then, I noticed someone was messaging her. Some guy with a super cringy screen name had sent her a selfie. He was aggressively hitting on her, too. Looking at the highly inappropriate, revealing photo, I was absolutely speechless. What the hell is wrong with this dude? Have some shame. I turned to her and quickly apologized. "Sorry, I didn't mean to look at your messages." Chinchin brushed it off completely and told me to reply for her. "Just tell him I already have a boyfriend." Getting kind of ticked off myself, I typed out a harsh reply and told her to ignore guys like that. Just looking at what he sent, you can tell he's a creep. Chinchin looked thrilled and pulled me into a tight hug. Ah, I didn't know my How cared about me this much. "Well, I'll do whatever you say, then. I'm going to hop in the shower now. How, could you block that guy for me?" Hearing that, I immediately got to work and blocked the creep. But suddenly, something else caught my eye. It turned out she had put my contact into a completely separate, private group. And the group name was My Angel. Instantly, my mind started racing with some very inappropriate thoughts. No, stop it. What the hell is wrong with my brain? Right on cue, the two little voices in my head popped up again. The little devil whispered, "You two are never going to have a happy ending." But the little angel argued back, "She's not your blood relative anyway. Besides, who wouldn't fall for a girl this perfect? Oh, I am so screwed. Am I seriously about to star in my own forbidden step-sibling romance drama?" Fast forward to the break between classes the next morning. I was sitting alone on a bench, deeply questioning my entire life. Thinking about it now, the way she dotes on me is way over the top. It definitely doesn't feel like a normal brother-sister relationship. Suddenly, someone walked up and called out to me. I shot him a cold glare. You again?" It turned out Lin Zhongzong had caught wind that I was streaming too. So, he wanted to challenge me to a popularity contest tonight, to see who could get more virtual yacht donations. But I told him I couldn't care less, and totally blew him off with a sarcastic comeback. "Do you guys just not get any homework? Is that why your tiny, walnut-sized brain only has room for me every single day? Since you love sticking your nose in my business so much, why don't I get you a hall monitor badge so you can go police the front gates?" Lin Zhongzong was so pissed he couldn't even speak, while I just kept rubbing it in. "If you've got a stutter, go see a doctor. The infirmary is right over there, man. Don't get too cocky, Zhang Hao. It doesn't matter what you say now. You are totally going down tonight." I was just about to open my mouth and reject him again. And Long suddenly showed up and accepted the challenge for me. "Bring it on. Hao isn't scared of you. His stream's popularity leaves yours in the dust." "Perfect, Zhang Hao. We'll just see what happens tonight." After snapping at me, Lin Zhongzong furiously stormed off, while Long was still standing there hyping me up. But my face was completely dark by then, with a million curses running through my head. Nighttime rolled around pretty fast. Today was just business as usual. Streaming some high-ranked matches, and a game flew by in no time. Got MVP, obviously. Today's opponents were absolute trash. I almost felt bad for stomping them so hard. Meanwhile, my chat was absolutely blowing up with comments. "You're a god. We bow down to you." Right then, a massive whale dropped 999 yachts on my stream. I was completely stunned. You gotta understand, a single yacht costs $1,000. That's $1 million dropped in one go. I just had to see which massive sucker this was. Wait, this name, could it be Wei Nan? What the hell does this woman want? Is she trying to remind me to sign that contract as soon as possible? But the terms of that agreement are basically a total trap, right? Anyone joining the research has to drop out of school, move into some designated facility, and completely terminate every single outside contract. Isn't this practically a freaking slave contract? I haven't even figured out this Blood Moon mission yet. Tying myself to Wei Nan's ship like this just feels incredibly stupid. I really need to find an excuse to turn it down. As for this $1 million from the yachts, I'll just temporarily refund it to her as well. 192,177. 192,177. Seeing me shoot up to number 1 on the leaderboard, Lin Zhongzong immediately apologized to his chat. Made up some excuse, and quickly ended his stream. That damn Zhang Hao. He's obviously got a sugar mommy backing him, yet he still acts all innocent. Just you wait, I am going to tear that smug look right off your face. So, he called up some local thugs, wanting them to do him a little favor. But when the guys realized the target was me, they practically broke out in a cold sweat. They hurriedly called CEO Wei. After taking the call, her secretary rushed in to report, "Boss Wei, our guys just reported that a streamer named Lin Zhongzong seems to have some beef with Zhang Hao. He tried to hire them to take some compromising photos of him. Since they know he's your guy, they didn't make a move." "Understood. Tell the platform to terminate their contract with this Lin Zhongzong. Handle the rest as you see fit. You're dismissed." Meanwhile, I was stressing out over how to return the money for those yachts. Because the platform takes a 50% cut, there was no way I could afford to pay it all back. Right at that moment, my phone started ringing. I picked it up and realized it was the gorgeous CEO calling. But before I could even say a word, Chinchin suddenly appeared right behind me. It scared the crap out of me, and I frantically hung up, lying that it was just a telemarketer selling insurance. At the same time, I thought to myself, I think I've just gotten myself into some massive trouble. Sure enough, hanging up on Wei Nan made her absolutely furious. She immediately ordered her men to get the car ready. They headed straight for my front door. Meanwhile, back in my room, I was just about to call her back and apologize. But Wei Nan beat me to it. I carefully walked over to the ringing phone. Wei Nan's cold, undeniable voice came through the speaker. Come out yourself, or I'll have a dozen guys kick your door down and drag you out. Hearing that, I lost my temper too. I was actually going to apologize to you, but you're still acting so aggressive. And what, you're planning to break and enter? That's illegal, you know. Seriously, what an entitled psycho. But my only answer was the roaring of engines downstairs. I rushed to the window and looked down, only to see several black Rolls Royces already parked right outside my building. The sight was absolutely unreal. I was speechless for a solid minute. Finally, realizing I shouldn't dig my own grave, I gripped the phone and threatened her. If you try anything crazy, I'm calling the cops. Down below, Wei Nan's eyes seemed to sharpen. Go ahead and try, she sneered. Let's see if parking on the side of the street is a crime. That completely deflated my anger. This woman only responded to a soft approach. Acting tough wouldn't work. I had no choice but to swallow my pride. So, I let my sister know I was heading out, and walked downstairs alone. Just as I was about to get into Wei Nan's car, she suddenly called out, wait, don't hang up yet. Did you piss someone off recently? Wei Nan's expression grew dead serious. Then, with intense focus, she added, besides me, someone else has been watching you. Wanting to figure out exactly what this stalker was up to, she quietly told me the guy's location. He's in the blind spot, 30 meters behind the car. I followed her directions and casually walked over. To my shock, a dark figure actually stepped out from around the corner. You piece of trash, you're gonna die. Hearing that, I was totally dumbfounded. Was this guy completely out of his mind? He sounded like an absolute psychopath. I quickly demanded, who are you? Why are you stalking me? But the masked man didn't say a word. He just charged straight at me. He threw a massive punch right at my face. Luckily, my reflexes kicked in and I dodged it. But before I could even catch my breath, he came at me again. I was forced to keep backing up and dodging. I took a quick step back, creating some distance between us. Seeing how easily I moved, the masked man gritted his teeth in pure frustration. You scurrying little rat. I had him figured out, too. His attacks packed a punch, but he was way too slow. If that was the case, taking him down would be a piece of cake. The masked guy threw himself at me with full force. I calmly sidestepped, then stuck my leg out, and tripped him right in his tracks. He instantly lost his balance and flew forward through the air, crashing hard onto the concrete. I immediately rushed over and pinned him down. Stay down, don't even think about moving. Now, start talking. Who the hell are you? And why did you attack me? Green pepper animation. The masked man ignored my questions entirely and just screamed like a maniac. It's all your fault. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this miserable state. Hearing that, I was completely lost. I couldn't remember pissing anyone off like this. Let's get this mask off you first. I want to see exactly who I'm dealing with. But just as I reached down to pull off his mask, he violently thrust his elbow backward. Thank God I managed to block it with my hand, because if a hit that hard had connected with my skull, I would have been out cold. By now, the masked guy had gone completely insane, pulling a dagger from behind his back. I'm going to kill you, he roared. Seeing the knife, I panicked. I almost forgot Wei Nan's warning that he was armed. The masked guy lunged at me with the blade. I stared at him, completely terrified. This psycho was actually going for the kill. But right at the very last second, Wei Nan arrived just in time. With one punch, she sent the masked guy flying, and his mask knocked right off. That's when I finally saw his face clearly. It was Lu Xin. I just refused to be your sugar baby. You don't have to literally kill me for that, do you? It turns out Lu Xin thought I was seducing Wei Nan, and that's why he locked me up. Just as I thought, the moment you men see someone rich and beautiful, you instantly turn into total sluts. Hearing that pissed me right off. I've always kept my hands clean. When have I ever thrown myself at anyone? That's enough. This kidnapping has nothing to do with Zhang Hao. You've gone way too far. Wei Nan stepped up to defend me. With a dead serious look on her face, she reached behind her head. Tying her hair up, she dropped into a fighting stance. You and your goons have been using the Phoenix Group's name to bully the weak and extort protection money all over town. Today, I'm going to clean house personally. Wei Nan's words struck a massive nerve with Lu Xin. He absolutely refused to believe there was nothing going on between us. Gritting his teeth, he let out a furious roar and lunged right at Wei Nan. Facing a completely unhinged opponent, Wei Nan's eyes were terrifyingly ice cold. She just casually raised a hand and effortlessly blocked Lu Xin's full power strike. In that split second, Lu Xin's face twisted in absolute despair. He finally realized the truth. Wei Nan didn't become the CEO of the Phoenix Group because of her background, but through pure strength. Provoking her was the biggest mistake of his life. Too bad his regrets came way too late. Wei Nan's other hand was already clenched into a tight fist and smashed right into his face. Bang! A massive thud echoed out. Lu Xin's entire face contorted from the brutal impact. He coughed up a mouthful of blood and collapsed violently to the ground. Watching from the sidelines, my jaw dropped. Holy crap, was Wei Nan actually this much of a badass? Does that mean she was just going easy on me when we fought before? Soon enough, Wei Nan's people dragged Lu Xin away. Clutching my chest, I let out a massive sigh of relief. Well, that's finally over. Hey, I'm really sorry. I really caused you a lot of trouble today. Could you give me a ride back home now? It's getting late, and my sister's going to be worried. Wei Nan's gaze suddenly sharpened. I came looking for you today for 2 reasons. First, the contract. And second, I wanted to warn you. Someone is trying to secretly take nude photos of you. What? Who the hell would do something that creepy? Wei Nan turned her head away, her voice suddenly sounding a bit vulnerable and hurt. That doesn't matter right now. What matters is that before I could even finish speaking, you hung up on me. Do you really hate me that much? Hearing that, I immediately backpedaled and apologized. No, I'm so sorry. Hanging up on you was completely my fault. I'm really, truly sorry. At my frantic apology, for the very first time, Wei Nan's cold, gorgeous face flushed with a soft pink blush. She parted her lips and asked, surprisingly shyly, "Then, are you willing to accept your punishment?" Wait, what punishment? I was just about to ask what she meant, but she was already leaning in, her face burning red. And then, smack, she planted a kiss right on my lips. I froze, absolutely dumbfounded. My first kiss. I never in a million years would have guessed that my secret identity as a transmigrator had not only been exposed, but the one who found out was the domineering CEO who wanted to marry me. To keep this secret, I had no choice but to agree to become the domineering CEO's husband. It turns out that when Chin took me out to eat earlier, she actually got me to drink alcohol. But I never expected that having one too many would leave me stumbling around so much. I accidentally stumbled right into the women's restroom. I had just splashed some water on my face when I realized the woman next to me was actually that domineering CEO. And right at that moment, a group of women started chatting and walking in. Seeing this, I broke out in a cold sweat. In a total panic, I grabbed the CEO, threw open a stall door, and pulled her inside to hide. The CEO looked completely baffled. I get why you're hiding, but why the hell did you drag me in here too? I drank so much that my brain just completely short-circuited. Looking at the state I was in, the CEO let out a wicked little laugh. It freaked me out so much I practically yelled, "Are you out of your mind? Little boy, you dragged me in here," she teased. "Aren't you afraid I might just eat you up? Besides, it's been 3 whole days. Why haven't you called me?" My eyes darted around nervously, too intimidated to meet her fierce, demanding gaze. I was actually planning to contact your team tomorrow. I just didn't expect to bump into you here. Hearing that, she gently lifted my chin. Is that so? Well, I've changed my mind. You don't have to sign a contract with Finghong Group anymore. Instead, I want you to be my man. I grabbed the hand that was pinching my chin. Do you have some kind of weird CEO complex or something? This is literally only our 2nd time meeting. To be completely honest with you, the last person who dared to speak to me like that has completely vanished. Wait, are you talking about Lu Xing? Miss Lu? She was way too sloppy, so I've already taken care of her. So really, you should be thanking me for getting rid of your stalker. You're such a sneaky little boy. And I want an answer right now. Are you going to be my man or not? I pretended to think about it for a second, then suddenly reached out and started tickling her. While she was distracted, I threw open the stall door and bolted. But as soon as I stepped out of the restroom, the alcohol hit me again, and I started stumbling around. Thank God I bumped into Chin right then. How, you were gone for so long. Are you feeling sick? I told her not to worry about me. I think I'm just a little drunk. Before I knew it, Chin pulled me into a warm hug. In that case, let's head home and get some rest. My vision blurred, and I completely passed out from the booze. Chin quickly got me back to her place and brought over something to help me sober up. But by then, I was absolutely wasted. She leaned in close and just quietly stared at me. I didn't realize a drunk How could be so cute. Just then, my phone started ringing. Chin answered it. On the other end of the line was the basketball team captain, Zhao Ying. She just kept going on and on, confessing her feelings for me. Hearing this, Chin firmly replied, I'm Hao's older sister. You're Zhao Ying, right? I absolutely do not approve of this. Hao isn't allowed to date in high school, so I suggest you give up right now. Stop bothering him. After she hung up the phone, I woke up the next morning feeling totally awful, passing out after just one drink. That is so embarrassing. And what the heck was up with that crazy dream last night? Still half asleep, I stumbled over to the mirror. But when I saw a suspicious dark mark on my neck, I instantly snapped wide awake. Just then, my bedroom door creaked open. I completely panicked. Everything that happened last night was actually real. As Chinchin stepped into the room, I could feel her standing right behind me. Oh my gosh, how? Are you having an allergic reaction to the alcohol? I was completely and utterly confused. Wait, so that thing on my neck asterisk isn't a hickey? My older sister stepped right up to me, her face full of genuine concern as she spoke. Quick, let me see how bad it is. I'm a doctor, remember? Let your big sis give you a proper checkup. How? I awkwardly scratched my head, feeling insanely embarrassed. Just let her touch my neck and inspect it for ages. Yep, it's definitely an alcohol allergy, she concluded. How? Make sure you cover that up when you go to school, okay? Being single since birth, I had absolutely zero experience with this kind of stuff. So, I actually believed her. But deep down, I couldn't help feeling absolutely giddy. A little while later, I arrived at school. Long Ge was super curious. Bro, it's the middle of summer. Why are you bundled up so tight? Aren't you gonna get a heat stroke? I kept a straight face and proudly declared, real men aren't afraid of the heat. Inside, though, I was so hot I felt like I was gonna explode. But right at that moment, an arm suddenly grabbed me by the collar. So, you're Zhang Hao, huh? He growled. Let me warn you right now. Young Master Lin has his eyes on Zhao Ying. You'd better stay the hell away from her. I was already burning up with frustration and needed somewhere to vent. I coldly told the guy to let go. When he didn't budge, my eyes narrowed dangerously, and I grabbed his wrist in an instant. With a violent twist, crack, I pinned him right to the ground. Ah, Boss Lin, help me. What the? His strength is even greater than a woman's. Looking down at his groaning lackey, the purple-haired young Master Lin didn't rush to attack. HMPH, as expected of the man who's got Zhao Ying completely obsessed. Long Ji whispered an explanation from the sidelines. That Lin guy is in Zhao Ying's class. And his family's got some serious cash. But I honestly couldn't be bothered to entertain him. I'm not in the mood to play games with you, I snapped. Keep your dogs on a leash. If you care about Zhao Ying so much, go talk to her yourself. If you can't win her over, that's your own damn fault for being pathetic. Hearing this, Lin Zhongzong's gaze turned icy cold. Oh, is that so? Well then, Mr. School Idol, we've got plenty of time to play. After that, we just kept walking. Soon enough, I spotted a familiar pair of white stockings. It was Yuehua, leaning against a vending machine. She had watched the entire drama unfold. How? That guy was acting so tough just now. Do you want me to go beat him up for you? Are you kidding? One kick from you literally shatters iron doors. I wouldn't dare let you loose on him. I gently patted Yuehua's shoulder. It's fine. Just keep teaching me combat. I'll handle this situation myself. Hearing the word, combat, Long Ji got super curious about what we were actually doing every day after school. I playfully ruffled Long Ji's hair and invited him to join us. Why don't you tag along? A real man can't be walking around with zero upper body strength, right? But, I'm a gentle, delicate guy, he protested. Fighting and all that is just way too barbaric for me. Swimming is way more my style. Besides, swimming is for girls to look good. Real boys should learn to throw a punch. Meanwhile, at that exact moment, Wei Nan was in his private pool, living his best life. Dripping wet, his long hair clinging to his shoulders, he stepped up the stairs. A subordinate instantly rushed over with a towel. Even though he had just come out of the freezing water, Wei Nan was burning up with pure irritation. Just thinking about how I sneak attacked his ticklish spots last night made him feel completely humiliated and furious. And yet, he couldn't get my face out of his head. Wei Nan's sharp eyes narrowed dangerously. There is no way I'm letting him get away with this. So, he barked an order to his lackeys. Wait for that Zhang Hao to get out of school. And drag him straight to my villa. Later, after school, we all gathered in the campus warehouse. I looked at my friends and proudly declared my ultimate dream. I'm gonna be a man with a rock-solid six-pack. Hearing that, Yuehua looked completely clueless, lifted her shirt, and said, I have them right here. I instantly covered my face and groaned, Yuehua. This is highly inappropriate. I totally didn't see anything. But wow, you actually have abs. Meanwhile, the ever-observant Long grabbed a magnifying glass. Something is seriously wrong with you two. I thought it was super weird, too. Why didn't you just say no to me? Yuehua tilted her head, and replied like it was the most obvious thing in the world. You wanted to see them, so I showed you. Why would I say no? That completely broke Long's brain. How? I feel like she is way too obedient. She does literally whatever you say. Why don't you ask her to do something else, just to test it? Hearing that, I kinda agreed. I stood up, deciding to see just how compliant Yuehua really was. Hand over all the cash you have on you right now. What the heck? That's so brutal. Straight up mugging her, really? But Yuehua just rummaged through her pockets for a second, emptied them completely, and was even about to give me her bank pin. Thank God Long quickly clamped a hand over her mouth. Stop talking, Yuehua. How is just messing with you. I was totally speechless too. Little Yuehua, why on earth do you just do whatever I tell you to? 'Cause we're friends, and friends don't say no. That kind of twisted logic really broke my heart. Add to that the time she personally gave him that model, and hugged him super tight at the end. I thought about it for a second, and finally decided to sit her down and explain what a real friend is. Yuehua, friends are equals. From now on, you have to think for yourself. If you don't want to do something, you firmly say no. Yuehua gave a tiny pout. I honestly had no idea if anything got through to that girl. But, it was getting late anyway. Everyone said their goodbyes and headed home. As I was walking down the street, I was completely oblivious to the fact that Wei Nan's goons already had me heavily monitored. Still, the dead empty street made me feel a bit on edge. Why'd I suddenly have such a bad feeling? Right then, a little girl in a floral dress came running out. Hey mister, do you want a piece of candy? I was so confused. Little girl, aren't you out a bit late? Aren't you scared of running into bad guys? Nope. We're doing a spread warmth to strangers activity. My teacher said I have to give away all my candy, or else I won't get my little red flower sticker. I listened to her, completely dumbfounded. Elementary kids these days are way too hardcore. Doing school events this late at night? So, I took the candy from the little girl and chewed it a few times. Almost instantly, the whole world started spinning. When I finally opened my eyes, I found myself staring right at a guy with a massive afro. And that little girl next to him? She was now rocking a tailored black suit. I looked closer, and realized I was tied down to a huge bed. I'd actually been kidnapped and dragged back to Wei Nan's place. What the hell is going on? Right then, the female CEO spoke up. Alright, all of you, get out. After everyone left the room, the CEO walked right up to me, staring down at me. You actually had the nerve to do that to me last time, and then you dared to just run away? And now you have the guts to talk back to me? Defying me time and time again. Do you seriously think I wouldn't dare to do anything to you? Actually, you don't even have that kind of interest in me, do you? I've done my homework on you too, Wei Nan. You're the current head of the Wei family. Your family used to be knee-deep in the underworld. But under your leadership, everything went totally legit, and you even founded the Hongfeng Group. It's now one of the top corporations in the entire country, and I won't even mention the sheer amount of bloodshed it took to get there. People in this world even worship you as the ultimate national goddess. Someone as massively powerful as you would just randomly fall for a guy like me? Do you seriously expect me to believe that? And you're practically forcing me to be a star for your company. Are you guys really that desperate for celebrities? To be completely honest, I have absolutely no idea what you're scheming, and I don't want to know either. I just want to live a quiet, peaceful life. So please, let me go. Wei Nan narrowed her eyes slightly after hearing that. Listening to you say all of this only confirms to me that you are absolutely not Zhang Hao. The moment she said those words, I froze completely, and Wei Nan's next words sent a literal shiver down my spine. No, wait, it would be more accurate to say that ever since that specific day, you ceased to be Zhang Hao, didn't you? My secret as a transmigrator had actually been discovered by someone else. In a split second, an unprecedented sense of danger washed over me. What the hell are you talking about? If I'm not Zhang Hao, then who else could I possibly be? Wei Nan replied with a bone-chilling coldness. The reason I'm saying you aren't him is because the change in you is far too drastic. You clearly did your homework on me, but actually, I ran a thorough background check on you, too. Do you want to know what you used to be like? Zhang Hao is 17 years old, from a single-parent family. You were raised entirely by your father, and you received the most traditional, orthodox male virtue education. You were always your dad's precious little boy and his absolute pride. Thanks to your insanely good looks and top grades, you were crowned the undisputed king of the school idols. That made you the dream guy for countless girls. Everyone described you as gentle, undeniably adorable, and a perfectly understanding, sweet little guy. Hearing these words being used to describe me, I almost coughed up a mouthful of blood on the spot. What the actual hell is a sweet little guy? Wei Nan continued smoothly, but as for the person standing in front of me right now, I think calling you a total tough guy would be way more accurate. Compared to the past, you're a completely different person. You're literally a stranger walking around with Zhang Hao's face. Hearing her say that, I cursed myself for being so insanely careless. I never expected someone to dig up my entire past. Before this, because my transmigration was so sudden and terrifying, I was putting all my energy just into surviving and adapting to this new world. Where would I even find a time to learn about this body's history? But wait, if she only had that surface level data, how did she leap to the conclusion that I wasn't the real Zhang Hao? That's way too much of a stretch. Almost as if she could read my mind, Wei Nan dropped the decisive piece of evidence. The absolute proof is that when I first appeared right in front of you, you simply weren't excited enough. Hearing that logic, my brain practically blue-screened. Why the hell would I be excited? Just because you're some big shot celebrity? Wei Nan exhaled a drag of smoke and calmly explained, because you were my absolute die-hard fan. You used to openly declare your love for me on social media. If you don't believe me, feel free to check for yourself. My face darkened as I pulled out my phone. I frantically scrolled down through my past posts, cursing under my breath. It wasn't until I reached a post from exactly 1 year ago that I finally found it. How can a woman as utterly perfect as Wei Nan exist in this world? Just reading that pathetic tone, you could tell he was a massive, shameless simp. Seeing that made my soul physically cringe. I mean, I had skimmed through my feed before. But the old Zhang Hao posted like a spammy salesman. He practically uploaded a new post every single day. There were way too many to actually read. Wei Nan stared at my completely dumbfounded expression. You seem to have absolutely zero memory of those days. And please, do not give me some garbage excuse about split personalities or sudden amnesia. Sure, maybe medically that could pass, but you are forgetting one crucial detail. Human beings are creatures that must learn over time. A person doesn't just wake up one day having perfectly mastered complex skills they never previously had. Take your gaming, for example. You became a streamer, and in just one short month, you dominated your way into the top 100 players nationwide. Plus, someone like you who's never been in a fight suddenly brawling with a gang boss, and walking away without a single scratch. That's something even the toughest girls couldn't pull off. So, I am absolutely certain. You don't have a split personality at all. Your soul was completely swapped out. Hearing this, I just laughed. What an absolutely insane theory. Something so ridiculous. A normal person would never come up with that, right? Unless this woman is a transmigrator, just like me. So what if my soul got swapped? I asked. What exactly do you want from me? She replied, my team is currently researching a once-in-a-century rare blood moon phenomenon, based on our background check on you. This sudden, drastic change in your personality happened just a few days after the blood moon appeared. I strongly believe you are connected to this blood moon. What makes you so damn sure? I shot back. If you are willing to help with our investigation, I'll tell you exactly why. Seeing the cold sweat pouring down my face, Wei Nan told me to relax. I guarantee your absolute safety, she assured me. We're not going to slice you up for experiments or anything creepy like that. There is a newly drafted contract on the nightstand. All the details and compensation are listed right there. Take it home and read it over. I promise, you'll be more than happy with the terms. Is anyone else studying this blood moon besides you? I asked. Wei Nan flatly replied that she was the only one who knew about it. Hearing that, I grabbed the contract without hesitation, planning to read it thoroughly at home. I told her I needed a few days to think it over. But the moment I stepped back into my house, my older sister literally threw herself at me. How, you're finally back. Your big sister was so worried about you. Sorry, Chin. I didn't mean to make you worry. Where are Dad and Auntie? Mom and Dad already went to their room. Where did my little How go? Why are you back so late? I was just wandering around town and completely lost track of time. Chin, I'm gonna go grab a shower first. I'm sweating all over from the walk. But just as I turned to head to my room, she tightly gripped my wrist. How, were you out with a girl just now? I can smell perfume on you. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly threw together a lie. I told her some girl bumped into me while I was buying ice cream. Oh, is that so? You need to be more careful from now on. Don't let anyone take advantage of you, okay? Now go take your shower. Leave your dirty clothes out, I'll wash them for you. Thanks, Chin. Sorry for the trouble. But the second she got her hands on my shirt, her face twisted in pure rage. She took a lighter and set the clothes on fire. My How doesn't need anything tainted by the scent of another woman. Meanwhile, stepping out of the shower, I was completely oblivious. I walked into the living room, immediately catching sight of her stunning figure from behind. She softly asked what I wanted to drink. I felt my face heat up and mumbled, just some milk, please. Come into my room, let me dry your hair for you, she offered. I nodded and followed her in, though I couldn't help but feel a little confused. I mean, sure, she's drying my hair, but why do we have to do this in her bedroom? Just then, her phone buzzed. Some guy with an incredibly cringy username sent her a selfie. He was straight up hitting on her, staring at his shirtless, show-off photo. I was absolutely speechless. Damn, this dude is thirsty as hell, I thought. I quickly looked away and apologized. Sorry Chin, I didn't mean to snoop on your messages. She didn't seem to care at all and casually told me to reply for her. Just tell him I already have a boyfriend. Feeling protective, I angrily typed back a rejection, then told her, you should block creeps like this. Just looking at what he sent, you can tell he is total trash. Instead of being annoyed, she beamed and wrapped her arms around me. I didn't know my little How cared about his big sister this much. Alright, whatever you say, I'll listen. Now, it is my turn to go take a shower. How, could you block that guy for me? Hearing what Chin said, I got right on it. But then, I noticed something. Chin had actually put me in a special contact group all by myself. And the group name was Angel. Instantly, a bunch of inappropriate thoughts started flashing through my head. No, stop it. What the hell am I thinking? Just then, the two little voices in my head popped out again. The little devil told me, you guys will never work out. But the little angel argued back, Shinshin isn't your biological sister anyway. Who wouldn't fall for such a perfect girl? Oh, man, I'm so screwed. Am I actually about to get into an older woman younger man romance? Fast forward to the next morning during break. I was sitting alone on a bench, questioning my entire life. Thinking about it now, the way Shinshin cares for me is a bit too much. It doesn't feel like just normal siblings. Suddenly, someone walked up and said hi. I just gave him a cold, hard stare. You again? Turns out, Lin Zhongzong heard that I was live streaming too. So he wanted to challenge my popularity tonight, to see who could get more yacht donations. But I told him I wasn't interested, and flat out roasted him. Does your class not give you enough homework? Is that why your tiny, walnut-sized brain is so obsessed with me? If you love causing trouble so much, why don't I get you a hall monitor badge so you can go catch rule breakers at the front gate? Lin Zhongzong was so pissed he couldn't even speak. I just kept going. If you've got a stutter, go get it fixed. The nurse's office is right over there. Don't get cocky, Zhang Hao. Whatever you say now doesn't matter. You are definitely losing tonight. I was just about to open my mouth and reject him again, when Brother Long suddenly popped out of nowhere and accepted it for me. You're on. Hao isn't scared of you. His stream's popularity leaves yours in the dust. Perfect. Let's see what happens tonight, Zhang Hao. After saying that, Lin Zhongzong angrily spun around and stormed off, while Brother Long was still hyping me up. Meanwhile, my face was absolutely dark. I was silently cursing him out a million times in my head. Time flew by, and soon it was night. Business as usual. I streamed some king tier ranked matches. One game went by in a flash. MVP, obviously. Man, today's opponents were totally weak. I actually felt a little bad absolutely crushing those noobs. Sar. Meanwhile, the viewers in the chat started spamming comments like crazy. Oh my god, you're amazing. I bow down to you, my king. Right then, some loaded viewer dropped over 999 yachts on me. I was completely speechless. Keep in mind, one yacht costs 1,000 bucks. That means they just dropped a cool 1 million on me in one go. I wanted to see which massive sucker just did that. Wait a second. That username, is that Wei Nan? What the hell does this woman want? Is she trying to pressure me into signing that contract as soon as possible? The terms of that contract are a total scam, right? Anyone participating in the research has to completely drop out of school, move into a designated facility, and cancel every single outside partnership and contract. How the heck is that not just signing my life away? I haven't even figured out this Blood Moon mission yet. Tying myself to Wei Nan's sinking ship like this. Yeah, that just feels incredibly stupid. I'd better find a chance to turn her down. And as for the 1 million she blew on those yachts, I'll just have to refund it all back to her later. 192177. 192177. Seeing that I had shot straight up to number 1 on the leaderboard, I immediately told the viewers in the chat. 91,001. 91001. I made up a quick excuse and rushed offline. That damn Zhang Hao. He clearly has a filthy rich sugar mommy backing him, so why the hell is he acting all innocent? Just you wait. I'm going to completely expose your fake little act. Furious, he pulled out his phone and called up some local street thugs, wanting them to do him a little favor. But when those guys saw I was the target, they broke out in a cold sweat. They frantically called Boss Wei. The secretary took the call and rushed in to report. Boss Wei, our people just reported that a Douyu streamer named Lin Zhongzong seems to have a beef with Zhang Hao. She tried to hire them to snap nudes of him, but knowing he's under your protection, they didn't dare touch him. Got it. Tell Douyu to terminate that Lin Zhongzong's contract immediately. Handle the rest as you see fit. Now, get out. Meanwhile, I was stressing out over how to refund the money for those virtual yachts. The platform takes a 50% cut. At this rate, I could never pay it back. Right then, my phone started ringing. I picked it up. It was the gorgeous CEO. But before I could even say a word, Shinshin suddenly popped up right behind me. It scared the crap out of me, and I panicked and hung up. I lied and said it was a telemarketer. But deep down, I knew. I had just stirred up a massive hornet's nest. Sure enough, getting hung up on made Wei Nan absolutely furious. She barked orders to get the cars ready. She headed straight for my house. Back in my room, I was just about to call her back to apologize. But she beat me to it. I nervously brought the phone to my ear. Her voice was ice cold and left absolutely no room for argument. Come out right now, or I'm sending a dozen guys in to drag you out. Hearing that ticked me off. I was just about to apologize to you. Why are you being so aggressive? And by the way, breaking and entering is highly illegal, you know. Geez, what an entitled control freak. But the only response I got was a deafening roar of engines outside. I ran to the window. There were several black Rolls Royces parked directly below my apartment. The sight was absolutely insane. I was speechless, realizing I was completely out of my depth here. I gripped the phone and tried to sound tough. If you try anything crazy, I'll call the cops. Down in the car, Wei Nan's eyes narrowed. Go ahead, she sneered. Let's see if parking on a public street is against the law. That completely deflated me. This woman was impossible to intimidate. I had no choice but to cave. I called out to my sister, then headed downstairs alone. I was just walking towards Wei Nan's car when she suddenly barked through the phone, "Don't hang up yet. Did you piss someone off recently?" Wei Nan's tone had turned dead serious. She paused, then warned me, "Because besides me, there's someone else watching you right now." Wanting to figure out what this stalker was up to, she gave me the stalker's exact location, 30 meters behind my car. In the blind spot, I followed her directions and cautiously walked over. To my shock, a shadowy figure actually stepped out from the corner. "You little rat, you're dead." Hearing that, I was totally bewildered. Was this guy completely out of his mind? He sounded like an absolute psychopath. "Who the hell are you?" I demanded. "Why are you stalking me?" But the masked man didn't say a word. He just lunged straight at me. He threw a heavy punch right at my face. Thank God my reflexes kicked in, and I barely dodged it. But before I could even catch my breath, he was already swinging again. All I could do was desperately weave and dodge. I quickly scrambled backward, putting some solid distance between us. Seeing how quick on my feet I was, the masked psycho gritted his teeth in pure rage. "You scurrying little rat." I realized that even though his attacks were fierce, he wasn't actually that fast. If that's the case, he'd be easy to take down. Right then, the masked man lunged at me with everything he had. I calmly sidestepped and stuck out my leg, tripping him right in his tracks. In a split second, he went flying face first into the air and slammed hard into the dirt. I rushed over and pinned him down. "Stay down, don't move. Now, are you gonna tell me who you are? And why the hell you attacked me?" The masked man didn't even answer me. He just started screaming like a maniac. "It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be in this damn mess." Hearing that, I was completely baffled. "I haven't messed with anyone lately. Let's get this mask off you first. I want to see who you really are." But just as I reached out to rip off his mask, he suddenly threw a vicious elbow strike backward. Luckily, I managed to block it with my arm. If a hit that hard had caught my head, it would have been lights out. By now, the masked guy had completely lost his mind. He pulled a dagger from behind his back. "I'm gonna kill you," he roared. Seeing the blade, I panicked. I'd totally forgotten Wei Nan warned me he was armed. The masked man lunged at me with the knife. I stared at him in absolute terror. This psycho was actually going for the kill. But right in the nick of time, Wei Nan showed up out of nowhere. She sent the masked guy flying with a single punch, and his mask fell off in the process. That's when I finally got a good look at his face. It was Lu Xin. "I just turned down your offer to buy me out. You don't have to literally kill me for it, do you?" It turned out Lu Xin thought I was hooking up with Wei Nan, which was why she had him locked up. Hearing that, I was absolutely furious. I've always kept my nose clean. When the hell did I ever throw myself at anyone? Enough. Locking you up had nothing to do with Zhang Hao. You're the one who crossed the line. Wei Nan stepped up to set the record straight. With a dead serious look on her face, she reached behind her head, tying her hair back as she slipped into a fighting stance. "You and your goons have been using the Fenghong Group's name to bully the weak and extort protection money all over town. Today, I'm cleaning house myself." Her words pierced right through Lu Xin's ego. He refused to believe there wasn't something going on between us. Gritting his teeth, he let out a furious roar and charged straight at her. Facing down a completely deranged opponent, Wei Nan's eyes remained ice cold. She casually raised a hand and effortlessly blocked his full force strike. In that exact moment, the look on Lu Xin's face turned to pure despair. It finally hit him. Wei Nan didn't become the CEO of the Fenghong Group just because of her background, but because of her raw power. Provoking her was the biggest mistake of his life. Too bad his regret came way too late. Wei Nan had already balled her other hand into a fist. She threw a devastating punch right at his face. Bang! The brutal impact contorted Lu Xin's entire face. He coughed up a mouthful of blood and collapsed lifelessly to the ground. Watching all this go down, I was absolutely dumbfounded. Holy crap, was Wei Nan seriously this much of a badass? Has she just been holding back every time she fought me? It wasn't long before Wei Nan's men dragged Lu Xin away. I clutched my chest and let out a huge sigh of relief. Well, that's finally over. Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry to drag you into my mess. Now, if you wouldn't mind, could you give me a ride back? It's getting late, and my sister is probably worried sick. Wei Nan's gaze suddenly sharpened. The reason I came looking for you today, first, is about the contract. And second, is to give you a warning. Someone's trying to secretly take nudes of you? Who has the time for that crap? Wei Nan turned her head away, her voice suddenly sounding a bit hurt. None of that matters. What matters is that I wasn't even done talking. And you just hung up on me. Do you really hate me that much? Hearing the pain in her voice, I quickly backpedaled. Look, I'm really sorry. Hanging up on you like that was totally my fault. I genuinely apologize.